self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are Conversation Con Artists. What's going on? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am Calamity Red.
And we are Conversation Con Artists back for another episode.
And we brought along a special guest.
AC Blow in the building. I'm back, y'all. I'm back.
Much to our delight. And soon to be your delight.
I'm glad AC Blow back. But I just want to let y'all know about the website. Y'all go to www.conversationconartists.com and check out our current and past episodes, as well as the articles, the links to our stories for today. And you can go to the left of our website and leave some feedback, subscribe to our newsletter, or just anything that you want to talk about the show. You can find me at Twitter at Mr. MISTER_on-point.
And I can be found at Red_Calamity. Also, we are still doing the listener letter portion of the show. So if you have a question that you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it in through the website, or you can send it in through our Gmail account, which is conversationconartist@gmail.com. And because the entire show is going to be like one big ass listener letter, we don't technically have a listener letter this week, because this week is that special episode that we have been promising about the horrible date stories. So we have a lot of our own horrible date stories, and also the stories of people that wrote in with their own experiences. So yeah, and I think that we're gonna let Mr. Blow start with one of his stories, because fucking hilarious.
Well, first of all, I want to say to the listening public, I don't appreciate you writing in telling her that you wanted to hear these stories.
Thank you guys so much for that.
Because I didn't want to tell them, but I guess I'm just going to go ahead and tell them. Okay, so this one happened a couple of months ago. One of my friends, she wanted to hook me up with, one of her friends. So I'm like, cool. Tell me a little bit about her. Okay, she said she's a teacher. She's a Delta, and little stuff like that. I was like, okay, well, send me a picture of her. She didn't want to send me a picture of her. So it took me days for her to send a picture. And so she sent a picture. The girl was attractive, so I was like, cool, I'm gonna go ahead and meet her, So I get to the date. The woman looks older than what she looked like in the pictures, right? So I'm just thinking like, okay, let me make the best out of it or whatever. So we sit down, we start talking, and she's like, your friend, our mutual friend, she didn't tell me how old you are. How old are you? And I said, I'm 32. And she was like, oh my God. I was like, what do you mean? Like, she was like, how old do you think I am? I was like, don't put me in that position. Don't. So then she finally told me how old she was, and this woman said 44 years old. And I'm sitting there like, I can't say shit, but I'm looking at her like, all I could say is, oh, wow, And she was like, oh, wow. Like, what does that mean? I was like, well, you don't look like you're 44. So I'm smooth like that. Like,
Don't create a bad situation now.
Exactly.
Don't make an awkward situation worse, I guess.
Right. So, at that point, I knew nothing was going on with this woman. Like, I was not going to pursue her any further, because she like 10 years younger than my parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's awkward. So we end up having a good time. We had a couple of drinks, and the check comes out, and we have Firebirds, right? So y'all know, anybody that been to Firebirds know how expensive Firebirds is, right? So knowing that this situation ain't gonna work out, like, I would have thought that she would have wanted to pay her half. She didn't offer. This motherfucker did not open her mouth. She seen me signing the check. I'm waiting for her to say something, and she never said anything. So I end up spending like $85 on this date. That should have never ever happened.
Because she wanted appetizers.
Right. Because she hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's essentially what it was. So then we walk into the car. I'm still being a nice guy. So I feel obligated to get her number, even though I know I'm not going to call her, Mm-hmm. So she, I say, well, maybe I'll get your number. Maybe we can, I can call you sometime. And she was like, you don't have to get my number. I know you ain't gonna call me. And I said, no, like, maybe we could be friends or whatever. So she gave me her number, but I never called, And so as soon as I get in the car, I call our mutual friend. she ain't my friend no more. Let me just say that. Cause I was like, friend, how do you know this woman? Like, where, like, well, actually, I don't know her at all. What? See, I said, this woman was 44 years old. And she was like, oh, I didn't know that you was 44 years old. So I'm like, why would you set me up with somebody you didn't know? So this is actually what happened. The first woman she was trying to set me up with was her friend. But the woman got a picture of me and decided that she wasn't interested, which she ain't that bright. If she seen a picture of me and she ain't interested, something wrong with her motherfucking ass. But so then she was just scrambling trying to find somebody else. So she just like ran, like her friend just mentioned this other woman that was single, and she just put her in as a replacement. She don't even know this woman at all. And I'm like, what the fuck? So anyway, she ain't my friend no more. I see, you know, it was just like, it was crazy, man. That put me in an awkward situation, you know.
I mean, when I heard this one, like, so I try to, okay, I know that as a female, when I go out on dates, that the guy's probably gonna be paying. So like, I don't ever go and order, I never get appetizer, like, and I never order like something expensive because I don't know what's in your pocket. Like, I know you asked me out and I know whatever, you should be prepared or whatever, but I'm not an asshole. Not in that way, I'm not an asshole. So like, I don't try to like gouge. I have friends that do that shit though. They go out on dates and like get all they can get on the date. I don't do that. So when you told me the bill was $85, I was like, what the fuck kind of shit?
Yeah.
Because both of y'all knew at the onset this is not going any further. Like, she wasn't interested in dating somebody that much younger than her. It didn't sound like. So if I even was gonna let you pay, like, I would have probably got like something small.
I think she asked me if what was I looking for? Was I looking to settle down and like have a relationship? And when I said yes, I think at that point she wasn't interested. If I had have been down for some other stuff, I think she would have been with it. But I just wasn't even trying to pursue that. And, you know, it was just crazy, man. $85 down the drain for nothing.
She was 44.
44.
I've been living, I think it's getting past, I've been living with a clause that if a woman got kids old enough to say you ain't my daddy, then that's a no-go for me.
Yeah.
She could potentially have 14 or 15-year-olds.
Right.
Not only are you not my daddy, but I'm finna disrespect your ass too.
Right.
In your face.
That's the same way I feel.
Wow.
I mean, shoot.
I think it's getting past. I mean,
the older you get,
it's getting to the point of no return.
Because I used to be like, I don't want to date nobody with kids because I don't have kids and I want any kid that we had to be our first kid, and I had to let that shit go because at this age I'm like a unicorn. Like, most people have kids. The fact that I don't have kids is what's odd. Having kids is not. So now I don't want nobody that's got 5-6 kids and all this child support, but I have like eased up on that you can't have any kids because it's just, at this point, it's not feasible. I mean, it's possible, but not probable that I'm gonna end up with somebody that ain't got no kids.
But I feel like, okay, so all of us are in our early 30s. I don't mean to put,
I'm 26.
Well, you 26.
Yes.
26 quotation mark. So but we can go down, we in a good spot to where we can date older or younger, you know what I'm saying? So we could go like 25, 26, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't like to because y'all are fucking terrible at that age. I hated dating them when I was that age, so I don't know about that. But yeah, I mean, technically we could.
Yeah, so you know.
Oh, I'm gonna follow up because when you get to like your really good stories, I'm not gonna have no shit to follow that. So
okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna go with one of mine.
Okay.
It's not all that exciting. So when I was interning for my master's degree, I met this dude that worked for another program. So like, it wasn't like I was working where he worked or under him or any type of shit like that. I have gone out with white men, and he was white. Now, when we were at the center that I worked at, he seemed fairly like a normal dude. You know, he seemed alright. He worked out. He was one of them, like, in the gym all the time, like, drinking them shakes type folks that I don't do that shit. But whatever floats your boat. So I didn't mind that so much. So what movie? I can't remember. We went to the movies. I want to say, I can't even remember what movie it was. But so before the movie started, because we got there early, he was talking so much about himself. Like, it's such an arrogant way to where I was attempting to not roll my eyes, because it's like, okay, sir. Like, you working at a nonprofit, so like all of this shit that you're talking right now, I don't believe you. I think you need more people. So we got through the movie.
Nas reference. I mean Jay-Z reference.
So hip hop head ass. So we got through the movie. I didn't want to be rude. I wanted to go get something, and I was like, no, I'm good. So we just kind of walked around the complex where the theater was. And he walked me to my car at the end of it, and so I'm excited because I made it through. I'm getting ready to leave. I'm able to go, and this is what I can't speak for all white men, so please don't think that I'm saying all white men are like this. But the ones that I have gone on with, I learned a lesson that they're very aggressive. Like, so I'm at the car getting ready to go in, and I turn around intending to tell this motherfucker bye, and he just leans in and kisses me. Like, and I'm not prepared. That's bad enough because it wasn't like, I won't say it wasn't welcomed, but I didn't invite it, for one. And the second horrible thing is this motherfucker was essentially trying to eat my face. Like, I felt like I was in a zombie apocalypse movie. Like, it was the most disgusting. You should never kiss somebody and your chin be wet. That's a problem. Exactly.
Yeah, that's a little much. Yeah.
Wait. So, like, he, like, leans out, and I know I'm just sitting there. Like, I'm trying extremely hard to not have my disgust face on, but I was disgusted. And so I'm just like, I will see you later. And I got in the car. Now, here's the terrible part. That was bad enough. But then I have to see this motherfucker now because he works at the place that I'm interning at.
Yeah.
So that was kind of weird for a little while. I also learned that you should probably not go out with people that you have to see on a regular basis in case the shit don't work out. But the fact that he tried to eat my face, like, it's bad enough to, like, just assume that it's okay for you to kiss somebody on the first date. Like, I don't know that's like, that's not across the board, because, you know, other people that I've gone out with, that hasn't been the case. So that's bad enough. But then, like, when you're so horrible at it, where my face, like, you're eating my face. Like, it was so disgusting.
Well, like, when I go on a date, if, like, I'll lean in for the kiss. Like, you have to go the guy has to go the majority of the way in, and then, like, you just leave that last 10% for the girl to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't go for it 100%. Like, I don't, you know.
Look, I turned around. It's like being sucker punched, essentially, because I turned around prepared to say bye, and this motherfucker was right there.
Yeah,
like, he was waiting for me to turn around.
I don't do that. I don't do that.
You've got the environment. The date had to been good.
Yeah,
everything had to been all right for you to even get to a point where a person is okay with that 10-90% situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, he was a narcissist, and so I'm sure in his mind, because he's so fucking fabulous, had to go well. She has to be impressed.
He's like, she wants this.
She has to want it.
She's
right?
gotta want
Is
this.
that because
I mean, he was yoked. You know what I'm saying? He was strong. He had the muscles and all that stuff. He just assumed you was with it. You know.
He was very wrong. He was fucking wrong as shit. And to this day, I would probably say that is for sure the worst kiss that I've ever had in life. Like, I went home and scrubbed my face. I was so disgusted. Like, it was just so gross. I can't. It's like a slug. You know, like, do you see the slugs crawling along? It's essentially like having a slug put its ass on your face.
Damn, not slug ass.
Oh my goodness.
Slug ass. That's what it felt like.
So his tongue. Wait. So did his tongue hit your chin? Is that what happened, or
his whole mouth? Like, his whole mouth went over my whole mouth.
So the bottom of his teeth was on your chin.
Damn, motherfucker was trying to swallow you. swallow your face.
I guess so. I know I look chocolatey. I'm not chocolate. You can't
Chocolatey
eat
goodness.
me. Just don't do that.
Calamity Red, aka chocolatey goodness,
Don't
y'all.
fucking start calling me that, y'all, because I can't stand that he called me that. So don't do that. I can't be responsible for what I say. But it just was ridiculous. Like, that was awful. It was pretty terrible.
Man.
So it's gross.
Look, I don't have that many dating situations. I'm a loner. I've always pretty much stayed to myself in my dorm, and I've interneted a lot.
Yeah.
So I've always been on like social media and dating websites. So
I got some of them too.
my interactions come from dating websites. The latest one that happened at the beginning of this year was a woman who said she asked me was I a therapist for real. Like,
oh, that's never a good story.
I'm saying, like, my profile says that I'm a therapist. I don't know why you would think that I was lying.
Oh, let me tell you why. Just a mid-break. The reason why she thought that you might have been lying is because niggas
You
lie.
didn't let me tell the second part
sorry.
of this. I don't know why you thought I would be lying and then tell the truth when you asked me if I was really that thing that I could potentially be lying about.
Right.
So either I am it or I'm not going to tell you the truth right now. So you should just go with it for the moment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm a therapist. And then she started asking me more questions about, so you work with kids in the community. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, I actually need a therapist.
Oh, shit.
And I was like,
No.
and you know what? My clause is another one of my principles online. I think that I'm really just looking at mental illnesses. Every profile is a mental illness. A lot of them, I mean, it's a few of them sprinkled in that it's level 0 mental illness where, it's not mental illness. It's just a decent chick that could have some good conversation, but you can get to 10.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so she just keep asking. And so I just keep going through her with the different therapies. And I get into asking her what she's been diagnosed with. And she said depression, ADHD, and several personality disorders.
Oh,
Several
personality disorders.
No,
Oh, nigga.
hell no. One personality disorder is too many.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm like, okay, well, she's a 10.
Yeah.
And let's see where this conversation keep going. So I just gave her some input on where she need to go to find her therapist because her therapist don't work apparently. The last thing she sent me was I've been on a lot of meds but have them reduced due to side effects. Now I'm just on Wellbutrin, Adderall, Klonopin, and Ambien, also Topamax and Dexilant.
Just.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying.
What was the list before?
I don't know.
Jesus.
I don't know, but if she never asked me about my career choice, and I decided to send her a message and have a dialogue with her and meet her and stuff, you know how deep it could have been before I found out she was fucking nuts?
Yeah.
A lot. It's a long time could have went by.
Oh, yeah.
That is crazy.
Shit.
I'm glad you didn't go out with her. Like,
I'm glad
it
she just
didn't-
asked me from the jump if I was a therapist.
Yeah.
She probably.
Golly.
But it just made me wonder, like, how many people are you meeting on these dating sites that are just... The reason that they can't get an in real life person is because they got real life problems that people can see.
Exactly.
Wow.
Dog. Well, since you brought up internet dating, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna tell it. So, this was like 2 weeks ago. I met this girl on the internet. She was cute or whatever. And I work at night, she works at night. Our schedules are kind of weird, so we ended up like meeting each other at Sonic at like 10:30, just to get a slushie and whatever. So she gets there, she looks like she looked in the pictures, and everything's going cool. We have a little slushie and we talking, and she was like, "You know what, I like you. I really like you. I think I want you to be my man." And I was like, what? Like right off the bat, like it was no. And then I'm looking at her like, are you serious or are you just playing? But she was dead serious. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we riding around, we talking and stuff. We didn't have sex, but one thing kind of led to another. You know what I'm saying? And then afterwards.
After what?
Okay, she jerked me off. Okay,
right.
fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just want me to. I was trying to just imply it. You know what I'm saying?
That could one thing led to another. Could be a number of different things. So I just wanted,
Okay, fine.
There you go. All
Put
right.
it out there on the interwebs. Okay. So, so then after that, she would call and text all the time. So she, after one date, she comes to the conclusion that she wants to have an open relationship with me. Right? She just said this. At first, she wanted me to be her man. Then when I was like, no, I'm just dating right now, she was like, okay, fine. We can have an open relationship. And I said, what does an open relationship entail? She was like, you can see who you want to, but you have to use protection, and you have to let me know who this person is, and some other stipulations. And I was like, no, fuck that. I don't want to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? She was like, because at this point, I'm just like egging it on because it's entertaining. I know I'm not going to see her. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So apparently something was wrong with her, and I kind of just stopped talking to her after a while, But let me tell you something about men, okay? When we was at Sonic, I knew her ass was crazy. But you can't turn down a hand job. Let's just be honest. When you a guy, you can't turn these things down. If it's an attractive woman that's willing to do that, you can't deny her. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to have sex with her, which that probably would have went down if, I wanted it to happen, but I didn't want to take it that far. But, dude, we men at the end of the day. And I'm not asking Mr. On Point to co-sign this, but I'm just saying somebody out there gonna feel me,
I'm just, the level of difficulty at the point that you stop thinking with the top head and start thinking with the bottom head increases exponentially.
It does.
I think the difference is how long you able to think with that top head, which is my situation.
Yeah.
My top head maintains more control than bottom head, but when it happens, it's a wrap.
I got to get to that point to where I can maintain the thought in my top head, because it don't take much for me.
When that bitch said, I want you to be my man.
Yeah. On
the first date. Yeah. And the first date was at a drive-in fucking Sonic.
It was at Sonic. Yeah.
With some slushies.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker. Yeah.
I mean, in her defense, them was some good slushies. No, you know what I'm saying? So
not that damn good. I'd have had slushies. No. They're not that fucking good.
Mm-mm. I would have been like, excuse, you want me to beat your man? I'm not violent. That gotta be what you said, because I know your ass ain't said at Sonic at no damn 10:30 the first time we met. You want me to be your man?
Yeah, she said, I want you to be my man. I like you. You got positive vibes. Oh, I didn't mention she was really into astrology. Like, she really, really believed this stuff. Because before the date, she had sent me something about like Aries and Leos being compatible. I'm an Aries, she a Leo. And I was like, cool. Like, I don't fuck astrology. I don't believe
had
in
sent
that.
me that, I wouldn't even went out on the date because you crazy. Like, if you believe in this strongly enough that you feel a need to send me this before you even meet me,
I ain't have shit else to do, Red. Just I was bored, and plus I wanted a slushie from Sonic. Like, it had been a minute since I had one.
I mean, I guess. I don't understand.
Damn.
Well, I'm gonna read one of the ones that got sent in instead of I'll do another of mine. But so this person said this guy was supposed to take me to eat in a movie. We stopped by his house for something. Then on the way to eat near his house, somehow we got on the subject of me not having sex with him. We get out the car to order. He says he has to go back to the car for something, and he drives away, leaving me there. I called my best friends to come get me. Then we plot payback. He should have never showed me where he lived because we went to his house later that night and fucked his car up. Shrugs. Damn. Oh well.
Wow.
Damn.
Well, okay, but I will say now I wouldn't have taken the risk of having to pay for his car after fucking it up. But I get fucking it up because here's the thing. Like, the dangerousness, you don't know me, so you leaving me stranded. You don't fucking know if I have anybody that could come and get me. You don't know if I have the money to get a cat. Like, you're leaving me not giving a fuck about what my well-being is gonna be for that night.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucked up. So while I probably wouldn't have fucked his car, I would have wanted to fuck his car. But my fear of the law would have stopped me from doing that.
I think at the point that he left your ass, there's an asterisk next to him driving off that says, "I don't give a fuck about your well-being."
Yeah.
Right.
I think that comes with.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that he did that, like, that's fucked up. Like, I could have been in a real shitty position.
Why did he leave her again?
Because they got in a conversation about sex, and she made it clear that she was not gonna have sex with him. So I guess he thought he was gonna go buy her some crab cakes or whatever the fuck, and then he was gonna get some at the end. So when he realized he wasn't, he just left her. He sent her in the restaurant and fucking drove off without her. No, that's not cool. Now again, I don't know that I would have fucked up his car, but I get why you fucked up his car. Like, I understand that, because that's fucked up.
Yeah,
like,
that's
you
a
don't
dick
do
move.
no shit
That's
like
a dick
that.
move. You don't do nothing like
Nah.
that. Damn.
If you want to guarantee sex, you gotta pay. You gotta go to Backpage.
Yeah.
You need to find somebody to emulate a date.
Right.
Be like, look, I just want to pretend like this is a regular date. At the end,
Yeah.
we can, make a transaction. But if you looking for some free ass out here on these internets,
you gotta
you
put in
gonna
work.
get an STD. You gonna get a crazy woman that wants you to be her man right away. It can't turn out good. It gotta be rare instances where it turn out good.
Yeah.
You gonna meet a man. It's gonna be a dude when you get there instead of a woman.
And somebody will die in that situation.
I mean, not that they have a tranquilizer dart. As soon as you get there, it's a wrap for you, because now you just gonna wake up in the middle of you don't even know where.
Yeah. But you mentioned Backpage. Backpage, a lot of people on Backpage.
But
like, this shit is
if y'all don't know what Backpage is, because I didn't. Like, I just learned what Backpage was like last year. So Backpage is essentially like Craigslist or like any of these other sites where people post ads, but it's mostly prostitution that happens on Backpage. Like, they have it set up where it look legit like Craigslist, but it ain't. Like, it's mostly for like people to go buy sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to Backpage and it's like, you need your car fixed. We work on the shaft.
Yeah.
We get the job done. It's gonna be a nice female that you can request how she look, and
Right.
she'll make sure she take care of the job.
Yeah.
And then you be like, okay, I want my car fixed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's set up to be. It's set up not to get them just knocked out on a prostitution ring.
And actually, it's a lot of it on POF too. Like,
it actually is.
Yeah. I done had a girl just hit me up and ask me if I wanted to do business. And I was like, bitch, what is you talking about? So I looked at her profile and it just says like she's there for, it's just like dollar signs or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And
That's
what
how
is
they are,
obvious-
too.
Yeah.
What I've seen emerging is a lot of profiles that say massage, and then they start talking about all the lingo around massage, and I'm like, that ain't no massage.
No.
That's more than a massage.
That's more than a massage. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's crazy, man. Shit.
It is.
But whose turn is it now?
Okay, so I'm gonna do another one that I had. This woman. So I've been on social media and dating sites for entertainment mostly.
That's what I'm.
I've always got on. I ask them questions, and I write poetry, so I be like asking just questions about love and relationships and all kind of stuff. Just But the crazy thing is, that's odd. That's odd. Somebody doing that is odd on dating sites to women, because they expect dudes to come holler at them. So a dude that's like, "Hey, what do you think about love and relationships?" It's weird to them. And they tell me that it's weird. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm just having to have a regular damn conversation.
Right.
Is this dating site so messed up that I can't have a regular conversation with you?
Yeah.
But this woman just sent me a message that said, I'm looking for my slave to own, teach and train under my power, real time. And I'm trying to entertain it because I'm like, okay, so this has never happened.
Right.
Let me see what this entails. And I was like, that concept is completely new to me. What does that look like? I am indeed looking for my slave who knows how to follow rules and commands. Is that clear?
Is that clear?
The is that clear part was
Snap
enough for me.
two.
I was like, okay, this is enough.
Snap two. That's what that is. Is that clear? Are we clear?
The is that clear?
Is we finished or is we done?
The is that clear made me feel like if we was in person, she would have a knife to my throat. Like
Now more like a whip.
Well,
Probably
what does she look like? Is she attractive?
She was attractive.
Okay.
She was attractive.
I don't know
Alright.
why that's relevant.
Because niggas will do strange shit with women that's attractive.
I mean, if she looked like Precious, I wouldn't have responded though. At all.
Right.
And I knew what the first message was. The first message was she was looking for a slave.
Right.
And I responded.
Yeah.
I hate y'all.
Hey man, it's nothing wrong with having different experiences in your lifetime. We only here for a finite period of time, man.
Okay. Whatever it takes to get you to sleep tonight.
Do you responding to Professor Clumps out here?
No.
I'm just saying, we all have our aesthetic goals when it comes to relationships.
Exactly.
Like we don't know what's on the inside of a person. You might be a great, wonderful, amazing person, but we can't see amazing from across the street. We can just see what you look like. And if you short, you might be the most perfect short person for that person across the street, but she don't see nothing but short. You gotta get over it. You gotta find a way to introduce your awesomeness to that person outside of letting them look across the street at you. So dating sites are just the epitome of using the eyes. Cause profiles ain't worth a damn.
Yeah,
Hell no,
you're right about
folk
that.
be lying and shit. It's so many people in prison.
Man, yeah, it is a lot of. You were telling me it was a bunch of prison dudes on there.
Yeah, it's a lot of them.
And then the profile pictures. Some of y'all girls cold with taking pictures on the internet. Like y'all know how to hit that certain angle. You know what I'm saying? Like you built like Tiny, like T.I. wife or some shit like this. But the way that you take the picture, it make you look different. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then see you in person and you know, it's terrible,
But
man.
see, I feel the same way about y'all in hats. I don't trust, like, any dude that I see that got a hat on in every one of his pictures, you got a fucked up hairline under there, I feel like. Like,
sometimes
hats make y'all look more attractive to me. And so if I can't see what your face look like without that hat, it's a no-go, because I don't know what I'm really getting. I know hat you. I don't know you without the hat. And there's a difference sometimes, a substantial difference.
Gonna take that hat off and you're gonna get that James Evans out here. That good times, but it ain't gonna be good times, it's gonna be bad times. It's gonna be, why the fuck you been had that hat on this long? And why haven't I asked you to move that hat or knock it off by accident or something?
You not you gonna tell your story about the guy with the hat? Like you won't get into that?
I guess I got to now since you just fucking called
well,
me out.
Well, you called me out.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, so all right. I hope like shit he don't listen to this, because I'm sure he gonna recognize himself. This was when I was in college. When I was in undergrad, I met a young man. When I met him, gorgeous, dark, beautiful brown skin, gorgeous guy. Had on a white hat, baseball cap. He loved fitted caps, right? Gorgeous. So we start hanging out. He always had the hat on. Hanging out, getting to know each other more. Everything was going great. And then one day, he took the hat off. When I tell you, he had the most receding of hairline, but it was that receding where it's just on the sides. So he had that little hair in the front and started going to the back. Yeah.
So he had the deep cowlicks, like
yeah.
So it looked like a big ass M on his head.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
The McDonald's sign.
Now
the McDowell's. That McDowell's from Coming to America.
But I liked him, right? He was cool. He's probably the most matched person that I've ever dated as far as our sarcasm. Like, he could take it and give it. It was great. It didn't offend me when it was just working. It was working out great. But the hat. So, I had a request that if we were physical at all, that he keep the hat on, because his fucking hairline was a distraction. It was too much. But he agreed. He fucking agreed.
Of course he agreed. Think a nigga gonna be like, no, I'm not taking my hat off. I mean, he was gonna get some. He'll do whatever you tell him to do.
He would do it. I mean, and we didn't work out because I think we were too much alike, and so and he was a Marine. I don't fucking date Marines no more. Every Marine I've ever gone out was crazy as fuck. So it just didn't work out. But it wasn't because of the hair, because he would wear the hat. Now, I don't know what would have happened if it had continued and we got married, because I guess it would have been weird for him to walk. He would have had to walk down the aisle with a fucking hat on, though. He would have had to keep the hat on.
Or he would have had to shave his head.
He ain't had a kind of head for shaving.
Oh, his head wasn't set up for that?
No.
Damn.
So he would have just had to wear the hat. I mean, he could have shaved it and put the hat on, but not like shaving and not wear the hat.
Well, he had like lumps and stuff in his head?
It was just like a... His head was shaped like some candy corn.
Damn, not candy corn.
Damn.
Like a
Which side? Which side of the candy corn?
Right, the pointy side or the...
The point is his chin.
Oh my God! So he had like a like a triangle head almost.
Yeah.
Like it was like.
Yeah, but it was a little smooth. That's why I said candy corn, because candy corn is a little smoother. It ain't so pointy.
Damn.
A little smooth on the side.
So he
That's
didn't come from Area 51?
He had to.
He might have some extraterrestrial shit going on.
No, I mean, so the hat was necessary.
Yeah.
The hat was necessary.
Okay, so you got to see a dude without a hat. You got to.
I need to know what I'm doing. The same way that y'all want to know what bitches look like without makeup on and without like certain angles, I need to see what you look like without your hat.
That's fair.
But we ain't gonna get to see without makeup
You will
until you too deep.
Yeah. Till the morning after. Yeah.
Ain't no woman finna be like, okay, I'll let you see what I look like without makeup.
Well,
if they got makeup that much.
That happens sometimes. That actually happened to me recently. Like, the girl I'm seeing now, I saw her yesterday and she didn't have no makeup on. And I was surprised at that. Like, I have never seen that before. So, it does happen sometimes, but not often. You know.
But what about my request? Like, if you was like, look, I need to see you without makeup. Bottom line.
That probably wouldn't work out.
Exactly. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
Hat is easy.
Yeah.
You could be like, y'all can go out to eat and be like, look, I don't believe in praying for my food with hats on. So you need to take that off and we gotta hold hands and pray. You ain't prayed a damn day in your life in no restaurant, but you finna get this hat off his head. Or you finna get into an argument about why he finna keep this hat on.
Right.
I have another thing. If I meet you with a beard, you gonna have to always have your beard. I'm just because here's the thing. It's another thing. Y'all look drastically different sometimes without that facial hair. So if you got a full, and I know you side-eyeing me because you just recently shaved your beard, AC, and that's cool. But if I meet you with a beard, because you giving me all of this shit. We had a whole conversation. He want to give me shit talking about his beard. It's itchy. It's summertime. It's hot. But motherfuckers expect me to shave most of my body regularly because that's what is convenient for y'all. It's not convenient for me. All of the shit that I do for niggas, you can grow some hair on your face and leave that shit there. Let it be itchy. It's
so
a couple
are you saying
months.
you require a beard, or are you saying that if you have a beard, you gotta keep it?
I don't require a beard. I like beards. I do like beards. I don't require it. But if I meet you, if we meet in the fucking wintertime and you got your beard, I'm going to expect you to keep that motherfucker during the summertime.
You can't expect that.
If I can't expect that, then I'm just going to start I'm going to start doing different things.
Do no stipulations come with it? Like, just the existence of the beard had to stay? Or like, is it if your face looks stupid as hell without a beard?
I just really like beards. So, I just really like beards. Even if your face don't look stupid.
If you a man that can grow a beard, you need a beard most of the time, unless your job is telling you, fuck beards if you gonna work here.
Well, AC got this motherfucker.
I got a goatee. I still got hair on my face.
I think that count.
Yeah.
It's not a beard.
That count.
That is not a beard.
You mean like a full beard, like what Mr. On Point got.
A beard.
Yeah.
That's a beard. That ain't a beard. It's a goatee. It's reason it has a different name because it's different.
Look, I got itchy. I was sweating. I was like, I got to do something different. I'm gonna grow it back for when the cold weather comes. But
so when I cut my beard and I leave this and it's all the way down here, is this not gonna be a beard now?
No.
Because I never cut this. This don't go. This always stays.
It's different.
I knock the sides off.
So it got to be a full beard. Okay.
Santa Claus. Right. Santa Claus or nothing.
Lumberjack. Got to keep that lumberjack.
Yeah.
Yes. Cause y'all look, but the hat thing, like the beard thing can be, but the hat, I have to see you without a hat on because shit looks different. Like
that's understandable.
It looks very different. Like I don't know why hats do something for y'all faces, but it do. So I need you to take that off so I can see what I'm actually working with.
Yeah, that's understandable.
You're gonna have to. I need to see that headline.
I might
to see that headline.
I might need a woman to take her hair wrap off
You know what?
Because I ain't trying to fuck with no alopecia or no shit like that.
Right. Or
If you got like a bald head in the back of your head, I mean, we got some shit to discuss.
Or take that hair helmet off your head. All these girls with these. No, it ain't. Okay. Wigs is cool, right? I guess if it looks natural, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? If it's a nice wig, then okay.
The shiny weave, though.
But these shiny weaves, y'all had a shiny weave one time.
So
no, I didn't have a shiny weave. The girl that I was saying had a shiny weave.
But so when we go out, we give these. I don't know any of the actual names of anybody you've ever gone out with because we always give them like stupid ass names. So
yeah,
some girl you went out with had a shiny weave, and that became her name. Shiny weave.
And cause I mean I couldn't tell in the pictures. It just looked like she had like long hair in the pictures. Then she show up to the date. I mean this was like straight up synthetic. Just it wasn't nothing real about the hair. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't do it.
Got that hair for squirrels.
Exactly. Like you know. But it was too shiny. Like it looked.
That
it had to be fake.
Kind of hair.
Yeah, that plastic
kind. Unnaturally shiny shit.
Synthetic hair has a plastic coating over each strand.
That's the hair you can't curl because if you put any heat to that shit, it gonna melt.
Oh my god.
That plastic on top of it.
Yeah. See now that's not something I ever. My hair is my hair, so like that ain't nothing that has ever been an issue. Like even when I was younger, even before I went like natural, I still wore my hair. It was just permed hair, but I've never really been a weave wearer or wigs and none of that shit. No shade to those who do, but first of all, you talking about your face is hot. That just seemed like some hot shit because y'all had underneath the wig, then you got all this hair piled on top of the wig.
Right.
That just seemed real fucking hot to me. So
yeah.
Nah, I just wear my hair.
I actually ran into Shiny Weave not long ago at Walmart. She was a manager at Walmart, so
what was she doing when you dated her?
She was a manager at Walmart.
Oh, okay.
What? You got something against Walmart?
No, I said okay. I just did.
No, she got that hair from damn Walmart.
Yeah, she probably did on discount.
Yeah,
they sell some tracks and things.
Yeah.
So.
Y'all gotta buy expensive hair for that shit to look real.
Yeah.
And to be able to style it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just wear your fucking hair. Like
you could do that too.
But
know. Some of these girls are challenged with their head, so sometimes you gotta. I get it. Sometimes you gotta put on a wig, you know, or some weave, you know. I used to be totally against it. I used to not date girls unless they were natural. I took it to that extreme, like no perms, no. You got to be natural.
Y'all don't know this, but AC Blow used to be militant as fuck, like pro-black, Black Panther motherfucker.
Yeah, I used to. I was a charter member of the NAACP chapter at my college. Which, I mean, I'm not ashamed of. I'm still like that, but it's a little bit more subdued
It's
now.
a lot more tone.
Yeah.
What, is that youth? Is that youth talking earlier before or?
I don't know.
I mean, it's some 50-year-old militant niggas out here that's crazy.
Yeah. I'm still really militant, but like I'm careful who I share my opinions with because a lot of people just they don't quite get it.
Me
they don't
one
quite.
Of those.
Yeah, like I say stuff to Red, like all of us need to go the fuck back to Africa, like and she's like, no, we don't need to do that. Like, but anyway,
so you're militant, but you got some allowances.
Right.
Gotcha.
But so I'm gonna get into another one of my crazy ass dates. So my homeboy, my frat brother, he wanted to set me up with this young lady. Matter of fact, it was one of his wife's friends. So we meet at a restaurant, having a good time. We talking, but I noticed she kind of like ditzy, like something is going on inside her head. So we're just talking, and we start talking about our childhood, and I say to her, man, I remember when I was a child, I tried to run away from home one time, and I got to the busy intersection at the end of the street, and I got scared and was like, nah, I'm just gonna stick it out at home, like I'm not crossing the street. And she was like, well, it's funny that you mention that because I actually hit a kid with my car one time. And I was like, so I bust out laughing. Like, I'm thinking the shit is hilarious, right? I look at her and she looking at me with the serious face, like she is not playing. So I was like, oh my God, well, what happened to the kid? Is the kid still alive? Well, he's on life support, but I mean, nobody know what it's like to hit a kid though. Like, I've been going through a whole lot, and she just going on and on and on. So I ordered like a big platter worth of food, but by this time my appetite left me so quick. Like that has never happened before. Like, so I'm just sitting there like, oh man, well, what happened? And then she was like, well, what happened was I was coming home from work, and I was on this street, and it was raining. And it was raining really, really hard. This lady's car had broke down on the side of the road, and she had 2 kids. And she had each one of them in each hand. But the little boy like pulled away from her and came right out in the middle of the road, and I hit this kid. And I'm like, oh my God. So she was obviously like really, really upset about it. So where else is that to go from there? I was just like, yo, that's messed up. Let me get the check. Can I get the check, please? So they come and bring the check. I walk her to her car. And I was like, well, I don't know what to say. Like, so she was like, well, you gonna call me, right? I was like, yeah, girl, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you. And I never called her again in my life. You know what I'm saying? Because she hit a child. Now, of all the things for you to tell somebody on the first date, why would you tell them that you hit a kid with your car? And this little boy is on a ventilator. Like, he's struggling for his life right now. Like, damn. That was the craziest shit, man.
We named her vehicular homicide.
Vehicular homicide. That's vehicular homicide right there.
Of all the shit to say on the first date.
On the first date. But I think she was like high on some medication or something, because she was just kind of like ditzy acting the whole day.
Yeah.
I don't think she intended to tell me that. So I called my homeboy and I'm like, yo, why you ain't tell me she hit a kid with the car? He was like, what are you talking about? She ain't never told us that. He said, listen, AC, man, look, you looking at this the wrong way. The girl thought enough of you to tell you about her problems. I was like, don't try to spin this, my nigga. She crazy, and you should have warned me, It was just crazy. That was the craziest date I have ever been on. Like, that was insane. Cause it ain't nothing else to say after that.
You should be like, if your wife knew about this, I just want you to know it's messed up. Right. And I know you might not tell me that she knew, but when you find out, I want you to know how messed up it is that she knew and that you ain't telling me.
Yeah, I had him ask her if she knew while I was on the phone with him, and she said she didn't know. This was her line sister. They had known each other for a long time. And she had never told him that. Whatever.
But she told you the first time
she
met you.
You're right.
You
first
just
time.
had a caring face, AC. You just look like somebody who would understand.
Well, don't tell me your deepest, darkest secrets on the first date. I don't think that's too much to ask. Just keep some stuff to yourself.
Yeah.
Listen, you supposed to be the representative on the first date.
Exactly.
Right.
You're supposed to be giving off the best, most amazing vibes about yourself.
She didn't get that memo.
But actually, I kind of appreciate it because I know that she is not capable of raising children. So it was kind of a blessing, special blessings. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Your childhood story damn activated her PTSD.
right? Yeah. Because what kind of segue is that? It's funny that you mentioned that. I actually hit a kid with my car.
Oh, you were a kid before? I fucking hit a kid.
Right? Like what?
Small world. What a small world.
Oh man.
You would have been like, I want to have the young chicken, please, for my order. It's funny that you said young. I hit a young person.
Well,
he's almost fucking dead.
She just really wanted to talk to somebody about that, I think.
You wasn't the one that was the thing.
I know. It was bad, man. Ugh.
I guess the fact that they tried to hook her up must mean she had been isolated for some time.
Well, maybe so. But she's married now. Oh. She found love and happiness.
She probably did tell you. He probably don't even know he married to somebody who committed vehicular homicide.
He may have told her that story. Maybe he could put up with that. I don't know.
She probably learned from you that she didn't need to tell nobody that shit ever. He probably don't even know. If she didn't tell her good friend who set her up with you,
well, yeah.
He probably just walking around not even riding in the car with this bitch.
What probably happened is they hooked her up with another one of their friends and was just like, Listen.
Don't.
How do you feel about vehicular homicide towards children? I mean, things happen. Okay, I got a friend that we gonna send you on a date with.
But okay, so say that you had hit a kid with your car, right? Is that something that you just take to the grave? Like, I feel like that's something you don't need to discuss with your significant other ever. Like, that's a part of your past you should just allow to be the past. It's not relevant.
I probably wouldn't say shit about it.
Yeah, I mean, for what? Why would you say anything about that?
Because obviously you can find any segue, but like, I don't even know how you would even broach the subject, or what could we be talking about where I could be like, perfect time, listen.
If you're apathetic enough for it to not be bothering you. Now, if you wake up in night terrors every night and your wife is like, what the fuck is going on? Then I'm going to have to be like, listen, I have nightmares sometimes because I hit a kid.
Okay, I can see it. That
if it's fucking your life up, like if you at the kitchen table and you end up like staring off into space for 10 minutes and they just looking at you, you need to tell somebody what the hell going on with you.
Okay, I can see that. But the only other way I can see you telling is if y'all at the family reunion, that crazy ass cousin just like blurts out, "Hey, cuz, you remember that time you hit that kid with your car, nigga?" And then you gotta explain it.
You gotta explain it. You gotta hope your relationship lasts. Right. You didn't tell her that shit that she gonna say that's important as fuck. We talking about having kids.
But what?
I let you drive every time we go places. You try to put me in some shit where you gonna hit a kid and I'm with you.
Oh man,
your relationship might not last if she gotta find out through some other person.
It probably won't.
It's like a special person, because I still kind of feel like an asshole for laughing, but I was in tears. Like, when you called me and told me
I couldn't believe it.
I was in tears because it's just like, what are the odds?
I couldn't believe it, man.
What are the fucking odds?
I would have been like, are you talking to somebody about that shit? And I don't mean me. I mean like a professional. I mean, I'm a professional, but I'm not professional right here. I'm in the fucking restaurant.
Right. I mean, it's just like, you don't know what to say in that moment. Like, I was thinking of things I could have said after the fact, but in that moment, I was like, where do we go from here? Like, there's nowhere to go. It was crazy.
Hell no.
But anyway.
Well, I have a Plenty of Fish story.
Okay.
So if you don't know, Plenty of Fish has a ton of men that are incarcerated on there. And I'm talking about, like, not even attempting to hide it for the most part. Like, I'm talking about taking pictures in the yard with the other prisoners in the background posing. I think I sent you a picture before where the guy was posing on the toilet in his cell.
Yeah. 'Cause that's what ladies like.
Yeah. So, like, so for the most part, you could tell that they're in prison. So, this young man sent me a message, and I went to his profile. And his picture did not appear to be one of a young man in prison. So I'm chatting with him, and then he sends me this long message that effectively said, before we go any further, I just wanted to let you know that I'm incarcerated on a robbery charge for 50 years. Nigga, what? First of all, it's a whole lot of shit you leaving out of this story, because they gave you 50 years for simple robbery. I don't know that's what happened. And he was like, but I think he had served like 5 of the 50. And he was like, but don't worry, because I'm going to beat my case.
You got to be his ride or die chick in that situation.
Let me tell you, I think I done said this on the show before. I ain't nobody's ride or die. I'm not finna do it. If it come down between me and you because you done some fuck shit, I'm snitching, nigga. You going to prison. I'm not going to prison because you decided to do something stupid. I'm not a ride or die.
What?
I'm not coming to bail you out.
What did he say he was in prison for now?
Robbery. 50 years.
Nah, that's attempted murder right there. That's attempted murder. At least.
He might have killed somebody.
Yeah.
Or somebody on life support. Somebody vegetable out here.
Exactly.
Technically, it's not murder.
Yeah.
But it's talking about he gonna beat his case, and he just wanted to be honest. And I appreciate you being honest, because now I know to avoid your motherfucking ass. I'm not talking to nobody in prison. I'm not finna write you no letters. I'm not finna put no money on your books. I am not that.
But
chick.
prison dudes, they I guess they be having success on those dating
They
sites.
got you because
there's
there's a ton of them on there. Like, it is a ton. So I sure did some women out here entertaining that shit. I ain't the one, and I actually get kind of offended that you look at my profile and you look at my pictures and you still decide that you gonna send me this fucking message. Like, I get offended. Like, really?
You look like
serious?
a ride or die chick. You know what I'm saying? You look like you're gonna be down, like you're gonna hold them down.
I can't.
That means that you have strong character. They can see that in you.
That ain't no fucking strong character. That's a weak mindset. The fuck I look like? I'ma just be following you aimlessly around. That ain't no fucking strong character. It's weak as fuck.
Well, the girl I met at Sonic told me that she was in a relationship with a nigga in prison for 4 years.
Again, you had all these red flags that this bitch was crazy. You my man tonight. I was writing to a nigga for 4 years in prison. You had like, she had not even a flag. This bitch had a queen size sheet waving.
I'll take full responsibility for that situation. I do.
Bitch
I
was
do.
crazy.
That was me. That was me right there.
Damn.
Yeah.
So I'm finna read one of the stories I got.
Okay.
This one is kind of is rough.
Oh man,
It's long too, but I made the bad mistake of sleeping with a chick that I assumed was a good friend. It was only that once, but she became mad obsessed after that. In any event, many months later, I was too tired to drive back to my place after getting off from my third shift job. Her place was much closer, so I asked her if I can get a couple of hours to rest on her couch. She obliged, but because she was doing work-related stuff in her living room, she told me to crash in her bedroom. After about an hour or two of napping, I wake up to find this chick straddling my torso with my 45 pointed at my head. Horrified, I asked her what was she doing and to put the gun down. She was crying and shit, talking about how much she was in love with me and was tired of me rejecting her advances.
what the fuck?
When she refused to budge or lower my gun, I quickly moved my head and tried to wrestle the gun away from her. Just as I did, she pulled the trigger.
Fuck.
Luckily for me, she didn't have the safety off. I pushed her up off me and she fell to the floor. When she got up, she had a butcher knife in her hand.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
I immediately grabbed her wrist and she jerked it away from me up towards her face. That blade opened up a 6-inch gash across her cheek.
Oh my god!
I was mortified at that point because all I could see was the blood gushing out and my life flashing before my eyes. I rushed her into the bathroom to wrap her face in a towel and drive her to the ER. When we got there, the triage nurse and the cops on duty were looking at her face and then at my 6'4", 265-pound self. They asking her what happened and if I did it to her. She's continually crying and telling them that it wasn't my fault but hers. You can imagine how that sounded. Shaking my head. Because they couldn't get her to blame me or press charges, they stitched her face up and sent her back to the house with me. She was heavily sedated, so I put her on the couch so she could sleep. I went to clean up the blood in her bedroom and bathroom and noticed that the bathtub was full of water. I also spotted a sheet of paper that had fallen between the tub and the toilet. This chick was planning a murder and suicide.
Oh fuck no!
Needless to say, I called her parents and told them what happened and they came to pick her up. From what I heard though, from mutual friends, she was admitted to a psych hospital and went through a year or so of counseling and therapy.
God damn!
I was 25 when that happened. My dad was murdered when I was 3 and he was 22 by a woman who blew his brains out with his own 45 because she couldn't have him to herself. My trust issues with women are something serious.
Shit, I'm sure. Shut the fuck. First of all,
my shit seem petty than a motherfucker now. God damn. Wow.
how I cannot imagine waking up to a gun in my face. Like that right there alone is traumatic. Like, what the fuck? Like, what do you even say to somebody? Like,
man,
I have no idea.
Fuck.
It was several opportunities for him to have died then.
Hell yeah.
He avoided them all.
Or lose his life to like a if she had said that he did it, he'd be in prison. You'd have got that from prison. He'd have been one of these POF folks sending out shit from inside the prison.
So this happened after he had sex with her? Was it after?
Yeah, he had sex with her, I think, a while back once.
Okay.
And he still maintained a friendship with him, which I guess she was putting off a lot of advances towards him.
Oh, my God.
And he decided, he chose to spend the night over there.
Listen, that's why... I mean, you can't spend the night over every girl's house, man. Like, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure for a fact that she ain't crazy. Like... Because that's a very vulnerable situation for you to be in. You sleeping around somebody. Like, if you sleeping around somebody, you gotta trust them. You know what I mean? That's rough, man. That's rough.
He would have came up with some variables if he could have looked into a crystal ball that day.
Yeah.
He would have slept in his car. He would have went ahead and drove home.
Yeah.
It's one of them situations where you don't expect somebody to be as crazy as they are. Like, it's one thing to be obsessed.
And knives and motherfucking tubs of water to drink. Like, bitch, what? Like,
but see, that begs the question: what did she do before she got to that point that was a red flag? Like, cause it had to be something, right? Like,
he said she became mad obsessed. So I don't know what that looked like.
Like, he wasn't even really like. I think this was probably. It sounded like the first time in a while he had interacted with her. I don't give a fuck if your house is close. Like, just can't even be bothered. But I'm sure he didn't know. The crazy
thing is, you know what probably saved his life? And I know this is gonna sound bad. The fact that he had a gun with him. Because if she didn't have her own gun because she was using his, she was just gonna stab his ass while he was asleep.
Yeah, that's true.
So the fact that he had his gun and she didn't know how to operate it probably saved his life.
Because if she knew how to operate it, she'd have shot the fuck out of him. She pulled the trigger. Like, this ain't even a bluff, right? This ain't for me to scare you into being with me type shit. Like, I'm dead ass serious. Like, I'm gonna fucking kill you if we ain't together. You gonna die tonight. Like,
I ain't gonna front. I would have just. let me make sure I said the right thing. He was nice in this situation, right? He took her to the hospital. He made sure she was okay. He called a parent. I would be like, bitch, you just bleeding at this point. I'm finna take my ass home because you just tried to kill me. Right?
That's a CSI episode because they're going to be like, what happened to you? And they're going to say, well, this dude that was here that's gone now. Right. And I tell you where he live at.
You're right. It would have looked like he did something to her.
Yeah, it would have looked like that shit was on purpose.
He did the right thing.
I would have been like, baby, you know I love you. What are you doing? You the love of my life.
Right. You just got to go with it.
Give me a hug. I know you scared. Come here. Oh.
Right.
Now hit her with a couple of, hit her with a 2-piece combo.
Yeah.
Knock her on out. Yeah. Not enough to, you know what I'm saying? Not enough to hurt her bad, but enough to let her know that she need to be unconscious.
Yeah, slug the bitch. That's what you do. Cause that's insane right there. I ain't never heard nothing that crazy in my life. Like, wow. That shit. I got one last story, but that take the cake right there. I mean, whoa.
Yeah.
That's scary, man.
That's a more serious story.
Yeah, that's
this
serious.
last story is yours.
Okay, so this is my last one. Okay. So it was a young lady that worked in the same building as me. She was a nice young lady. She was actually like a gospel singer that was going around singing at different churches and stuff. So we had actually started working on a song together. And while we was at the studio together, she took a liking to me and we started seeing each other. So she was actually going to get like an award at like this local gospel awards ceremony like in Florida. So I don't know her that well, but I'm trying to like be more, what's the word? Like involved in like people's lives that I'm dating. Like I'm trying to open myself up, right? So she invited me to go down there with her. So it was me. I drove my car, and it was her friend, and her niece and her 2 nephews. So we on the way because they're visiting her for the summer. They from like Detroit or somewhere. Remember Detroit? That's gonna be important. Like later in the story. So. The kids, they seemed like they were some good kids. Like we stopped at a convenience store. We getting some food. I'm getting some food. I noticed they not getting no food, like for the road or whatever. So I'm thinking they ate before they left or whatever. So I get my food. I'm in the car. The kids, they like my car. I got a the sports car or whatever. So they was like, we want to ride with him. And I was like, I don't know them little motherfuckers. I don't want them to ride with me, but I'm trying to be more open, right? So I'm like, yeah, they could come in, ride with me or whatever. So they get, and keep in mind, this is like a 6-7 hour drive. So we driving down there, and the kids is having the good time. We got the windows rolled down. They loving it. So one of the kids says, you know what? Our auntie crazy. I said, what? He was like, yeah, I mean, she come home from work and she just be hollering at us and screaming and we be like, what's wrong with her? And I was like, So I'm thinking like he done did something he ain't had no business doing, and she beat him or something, and he mad about it. You know what I'm saying? So he just talking. You know what I'm saying? I'm not knowing that this is Jesus telling me from the mouths of babes that I need to get the fuck out of there, right? So we go down to the award show and stuff, and we end up having to stay overnight because like the award show is the next day. So the kids are trying to stay with me in my room, and I'm like, no, you ain't staying with me.
No,
you know.
Yeah.
So the next day they have the little awards ceremony. She gets her award and she performed and stuff, and it's pretty much like a church service. So me and her are sitting in there after she performs. I'm like, you know, you did a good job and stuff, and you know, so we having a good time. Then she sends me a text while I'm sitting right next to her saying, I want you to come to my room tonight. And I'm like, we in church essentially, you know what I'm saying? But me being who I am, I can't refuse, you know what I'm saying? I can't tell her no. So we get on the elevator, we going back up to our rooms, and she said she was gonna go to her room and take a shower and then come up later. But her friend cock blocked me that night, you know what I'm saying? And so I should have took that as a blessing as well, you know, but I didn't. So when we got back home, I go over her house, I'm up in her room. Next thing I know, she like taking off my clothes and stuff. She grabbing, I mean, she just going for it. Like with the door wide open. The kids is running around the house. I'm like, you can't, like, close the door. You know what I'm saying? So she closed the door. It goes down. Okay. It's cool, but the sex is not really good. Like, it's like she ain't letting me do basic shit. Like, she very conservative sexually. Let me just put it like that. Okay. So we go to work. She start hitting me up, sending me emails, chatting me like every day. Like, let's go, let's leave right now. Let's go to your place. Let's get down. Like, she was just like on it like that. I'm like, girl, I'm not finna leave work. So she continues to text and call me up until like 11 o'clock that night on a weeknight. And so finally I'm just like, come on over. The sex is still bad. Third time, okay, it goes down. I'm thinking she just need to loosen up. So I'm bringing like, I said, what's your favorite drink? She says Jaeger. You know what I'm saying? So I bring like a whole thing of Jaeger. We take a Jaeger shots and shit. Like, it was nasty as hell, but that's what she
tastes
like.
like licorice. It's
yeah.
disgusting.
So then it goes down. Still subpar. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't good. And she says
TBN.
She goes to sleep.
TBN. You left out TBN.
Right. I'm getting to it. She goes to sleep, but before she goes to sleep, she puts television on TBN, right?
The religion.
Right after we have sex.
Trinity Broadcasting Network.
She put it on TBN. So I can't find the remote. So I'm just like, I gotta watch TBN the whole night, like, cause I wasn't sleepy. So I'm just sitting there like watching this stuff about the Lord, and I'm just fornicating, like that shit. But anyway, so the next day, I try to get that little morning session in, but she acting all weird and stuff like, get off me, all of this stuff. So then I get mad, right? I was like, look, we done had sex 3 times. It's been terrible all 3 times. Like, what is the deal? Like, why won't you just like loosen up and, you know? And then she starts crying, right? And so like... For those of y'all that don't know, when a woman cries, it's like a man's kryptonite. Like, it's something about that we just can't take. So I'm like, oh man, I done hurt her feelings, man. She crying. I got to get the fuck out of here at this point. So I grab my pants. I'm looking for my socks. I can't find my socks. So I put on my shoes, and then I trip over the glasses, the shot glasses that we was drinking the Jaeger out of. I break all them motherfuckers. Just they fall all on the ground. They shattered. I don't even stop my stride. I'm out of there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just out. I know that was an asshole-ish thing to do, but you know what I'm saying? I had to get out of there. The girl was crying. So the next day at work, she want me to come over again and have sex with her. And I'm like, listen, this ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It ain't. We tried 3 times. It didn't work. We just need to be friends.
You broke this bitch's glasses.
But of course, we wasn't friends because I think she told some of our coworkers what had happened. Because I noticed that like coworkers that used to speak to me in the hallway and stuff, they had attitudes for my ass after that. I'm like, Gloria, I mean, well, I don't want to say nobody's name, but you know, they didn't even want to speak. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, she done told everybody on her floor about what happened, I'm sure, you know. But again, that was my bad. That was my bad. All of this stuff, some of this stuff was self-inflicted. I understand that, you know.
A lot of it.
Okay, fine. But I'm more mature now, you know. Except for 2 weeks ago.
I was just about to say.
We missing something.
What?
Where did Detroit come back into play?
Oh yeah. So the little kid was like, he told me about a murder that he witnessed. Yeah, he was like, man, one time I was walking on the street and, you know, I was playing with my friend. I turned around and then I heard pop, 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 pop. And I turned back around, he was dead. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Nigga, don't be telling me no hood tales to this motherfucker. I don't want to be a witness to this shit. And I'm looking at his brother. His brother just sitting in the back seat like, nodding his head like, look, it's hard in the D. He had a bunch of little hood stories. I'm glad you told me. Yeah, it was crazy, man. Like, damn. Yeah, man. I tell you. Ooh, I'm tired.
Broke that lady.
God.
Broke that lady's
situation. Damn. He said I broke the glass and then didn't stop stride.
I had to get out of there. I know that was fucked up. That was in my 20s though. You know, I wouldn't do that now.
I'm only gonna do like. So did I do Chubbs or Thor?
Chubbs.
Damn it! I knew you were gonna say Chubbs. All right, so it's an all-out dating story because I met him on Plenty of Fish, actually. White guy. So I will get to why we named Chubbs, but so his bitches look nice. He was a pharmacist. Had all his shit together. He seemed nice, seemed funny. He didn't seem like the kind of white boy that date black girls. So that was a little off-putting, and this motherfucker was from somewhere that don't even have no black people. I feel like it was like
Kansas or something.
I think it was Kansas.
Yeah.
I think he was from Kansas, and so it was just very odd that he was even interested. But anyhow, the first date that I went on with Chubbs was he took me to the opera, and we went to a wine bar. And we went to a place in downtown Birmingham that has, it's like the Dave and Buster's kind of setup where it's like a bar in the front, but then they have all these old school like coin games like from like the old arcades. And so we went like a full night of shit. It's wonderful. Wow. It's great. Chubbs is also one of them people where, again, white. I don't know that it's all white men, but who just came in for the kiss that night. But he had spent like a shit ton of money, so yeah. So that was our first date. Now I will say, this makes me sound so vain. That's why you wanted me to tell the Chubbs story.
Yep, right? Exactly.
Chubbs got his name because Chubbs was kind of misshapen. Like he was like.
Was he misshapen or misshapen?
So when I told this story to AC, I was sick. I have allergies and sinus issues, and so when you sick, the B's and the P, all that sound like. So I said misshapen, but when he heard it was misshapen,
you said misshapen.
I did not say misshapen. But he was like like somebody who used to weigh a lot, who lost the weight. Like he had a weird shape. It was weird.
His middle was weird.
Yeah, his middle was weird. He was misshapen. It was off. That was kind of off-putting to me. He was a nice guy. It just wasn't there. You know, you go out, you could tell if a vibe is there. Right. I wasn't feeling it. I expressed this to Chubbs, who told me that hadn't been long enough for me to make that determination, and he still wanted to go out with me. So
wait, did you tell him because it was his misshapedness?
I did not. What the fuck I look like?
Oh, okay.
I just told him I just wasn't feeling. You know, I just didn't, like, it wasn't there for me. But he said it hadn't been long enough. So what else did I do with Chubbs?
He took you
He
somewhere.
decided it wasn't long enough.
Yeah.
And you went with it.
I did. Because, okay, so at this point, I hadn't been on any dates. And I was just like, maybe he's right. Maybe I didn't give him a fair chance. So I can't remember. We did a lot of expensive
Where did
things.
y'all go after that? The second date was it some kind of restaurant or something y'all went to?
We went to Firebirds. He took me to Firebirds.
Yeah.
We went to Art on the Rocks, which is a event that the Birmingham Museum of Art puts on like 3 or 4 times during the summer, where you get all fancy and you go to the museum and they have like drinks and shit. We went to that. What else did we go? We had the Collins Bar downtown Birmingham. We did a lot of shit. I gave it a chance. Shit wasn't working, and I was. You're wasting your money. Like that's essentially what I told him. I was like, it's still not here. Like I just don't feel comfortable. It doesn't make sense for us to keep going out on these dates. He was still for sure that I had given it enough time. Now the second time he said that shit, I was out. So I kind of just got ghost on Chubbs at that point.
Poor Chubbs.
He spent a lot of money. But who the fuck takes somebody to the opera? That was the first time I had ever even been to the opera. I've always wanted to go.
We call him Chubbs, by the way, because he was misshapen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shapen. He was misshapen. So that's why he got the nickname Chubbs. And I mean, look, it would have been awesome. Everybody, my female friends who ain't shit, some of them ain't shit. I won't say they're all not shit, but they were like, he's a pharmacist. You could be living the life. Like, if he's doing all this on the dates, like, I'm not finna be with this man because, like, I'm not gonna do that. I gotta spend the whole rest of my life with somebody that I'm not attracted to and don't like because he a pharmacist. The fuck out of here. What I look like? I'm not gonna do that.
Well, you got to understand, thought bitches get married for business reasons. They do.
I'm not one of those.
I know you're not. I know, but I'm saying, like,
yeah.
your friends might be if they was like, you should have got with them.
Oh, I have. This is the last one. You said friends, and you told the story about. So, I had a friend was dating this guy, and he had his best friend who was single. And you know how people get together and they just won't think everybody should be with somebody. And so she was like, you should go out with his friend. He's nice and he's a teacher and da-da-da-da-da. So I was like, cool, whatever. So I go out with the guy. He is nice. Vibe was great. He was funny. It was wonderful. I get this quiet-ass call probably about a week after I went out with this dude from my friend. And she was like, I just needed to let you know that I didn't realize this when I sent you out with him, but we got to talking and we realized that we like had a one night stand a few years back because I met him in a club.
Hell
and I
no.
was like, so what you telling me, bitch, is that you sent me out on a date with a nigga you didn't fuck? Is that what I'm hearing? And she was like, it wasn't nothing. It was a one night kind of thing, and it wasn't a bit. And I'm just like, because I have an idea of where your vagina has been, I don't really want to come after that, to be honest.
Well, what you got to understand that thought bitches let several niggas pogo stick their ass. That's
like,
what they do.
I don't remember who you slept like. So I didn't go out with him anymore. And then when the dude that she was seeing found out that she had fucked his friend, he let her go. Like, they wasn't going out no more. So after that, that was the last time I've ever let my friend set me up with anybody. And if she came to me today talking about she had somebody for me, I would probably fucking cuss her out. Didn't get the fuck out of my face. I remember.
Why would she tell you?
No, it was better that she told me.
I mean, I know, but it
let me
don't still
tell you
explain
what would
why.
have happened if I had found out after the fact. Like, if me and this nigga got close and was like really kicking it, and you come tell me that shit, she knows me well enough to know that if it came out at any point, I was probably gonna flip the fuck out about it. So she just wanted to come and let me know up front to give me the option. Because you take away my option, right? If you don't say nothing to me and I keep going out with him, you took away my option to choose whether or not I was comfortable with that, which I'm fucking not. So I just didn't go out with him no more. But I was mad. And she was like, and I just, he wanted to tell you, but I thought it would be better for me. But okay, which one of y'all came and told me the shit? Shit's fucked up either way. He could have told me, you could have told. I don't give a fuck who told me. Like, what? You need to check, please, from now on. Like, you write it down. Get you a nice list going so that you remember these motherfuckers. Like, so you don't set your friends up with people you had sex with. We don't do that.
So, did you bone the guy?
No. What the fuck? We went out once.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say, like, guys, if two guys have sex with the same girl at some point, those are called Eskimo brothers. I was going to ask you what the equivalent for women would be.
That is disgusting, first of all. The fact that y'all have a fucking name for it is disgusting. I don't know that there's a name for it. Because, like, now, again, stereotyping. I would say the particular set of white girls that went to my high school passed motherfuckers around like it wasn't nothing. Like, 1 week, Susie would be dating Johnny, and then the next week, Sally was with Johnny, and Susie was cool with the shit, and then the next week or 2 weeks later, Alice was with Johnny. Like, they just passed Johnny around the whole group, and they were cool with it. We're
hell yeah, Johnny gonna be cool with it.
Well, yeah, I know Johnny gonna be cool with it, but the girls were cool with it too. Like, they weren't like falling out with each other. Like, you knew I was with him, and we just broke up, and it was never none of that. They were cool with it. They just passing Johnny around.
That's kind of dope when you think about it, though.
I guess for Johnny, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, it's all right for everybody.
I guess.
If ain't nobody got a problem with it.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm not that person. So as soon as she told me that shit, it was done. Like, I was like, he a nice guy, and it's unfortunate, but I can't even do it. I can't even do it.
Man.
But she's never allowed to set me up with anybody ever again in life. Don't even hint at fucking doing it, because I'm probably gonna have remember what happened last time and cuss you out. So
Don't want that.
no, nobody needs that.
I got 2 more that I wanna read out the situation.
All right.
Okay.
We had a lot of people send them in. Like,
yeah.
So
it was a lot.
yeah, I still have a bunch I didn't read.
She said, I was at dinner with a boyfriend and his wife showed up. He lied and said he was single. We were together for 4 months.
Oh, hell no.
I invited her to sit down and order something. We ran the tab up, left him there with the check, and went to a strip club together.
Good for you, ma'am. That was some G shit right there.
Yeah, that's some OG shit.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would have. I probably would have. Again, maybe I have some anger issues that I need to work through. Cause I would have like flipped the fuck like, you married though? Like, I would don't know that I would have been coming up with pull up a chair, have some crab cakes. Like, I don't know. That
was psychological warfare right there for him.
I mean, and if you a glass half full type of person, you make the best out of a bad situation. So that's what she was doing.
I guess so.
Yeah.
The fact that her and the wife like went out together after the fact, it's just, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny to me.
Right, what would you do, AC Blow, if a dude came up and said, "Why you here with my wife?" He ain't aggressive.
He's aggressive.
Just mad and hurt. And he ain't gonna be aggressive.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I mean, I feel like I would do something similar. Like, because at that point, I'm not invested in the relationship no more. Like, what do I care at this point? If the guy not mad, I mean, the most I'd be worried about is if he wanted to whoop my ass. But if he not aggressive, then I'm just like, yo, I'll tell him to pull up a chair too.
You're like, listen, man, we are not finna ruin no dinner now.
Right, exactly. Your bitch out here in the streets. You got to deal with that when you get home. I know you need a drink, so just pull up a chair.
Man,
I would probably. I have rage.
I don't know what I.
Yeah, I could see you tearing some shit up, Red. Yeah,
I probably would, like, cause No, the fuck out. Like, you, first of all, you married. Secondly, you got this bitch coming up because she not aggressive, but she could have been. So you got me in a situation where she could have came in here with her 45 or your 45 and killed us both, motherfucker. Like, that's no.
Right. You know, and that's the main thing. You never know how people react to that stuff. So
and
it's
I
like,
didn't
it's
even
just
know.
dangerous.
I'ma die because I ain't know that you was being a fuckboy.
Yeah.
No. I would have
Hell
flipped
no.
out. I probably would have flipped out.
Man,
I don't know that I could be cool.
I'm always weary of how somebody can maintain a marriage and a relationship.
That's just a lot. I don't. Why would
How
you
you
want to
do
do
that?
that?
That's a lot. And keep it all a secret. That's a lot.
Especially with the way sneaky as women are, to be able to actually keep this away from both of them, where they don't notice. Like, where he at? Like, he's staying. You working late a lot, ain't you?
Right.
But you ain't bringing in no extra money. So what you putting in all these hours at the job for? Like, I don't know. That just has always seemed like a lot. One relationship is a lot to me. Like the work that has to go into the shit to keep it afloat. So trying to maintain two at the same time and keep both of them happy enough where they don't become suspicious, that's just a lot.
But you know, I recently found out, like I was joking when I was saying like thought bitches just get in the relationships for like marriages for business purposes and stuff. But that's like a real thing. Like it's some people that do that for real. Because I knew this couple, one of the husband worked down, well, the wife worked down here in Alabama, but the husband was in DC. And that's just what they did. Like he came down here, she would go somewhere else, and they just were never together. They were married, but they were just working in different places. And I knew this other couple, he's here, she's in California.
The fuck?
And they meet up like every couple of months or something.
What? Nah.
But
if you in Cali, I'm in Cali.
yeah. But
you in DC, I'm in DC.
Yeah.
I can find a job any fucking where. Where you moving to? Where we going next? What's that? Like, no.
Right.
That's crazy.
But I guess if it's just a business relationship,
Yeah, if you don't really
then-
like that motherfucker, then I guess that works. That's the best of both worlds. I got your paycheck, so I got this extra money.
Yeah.
But I ain't got to deal with your ass either.
and I can do what I want to do.
And I can do what I want to do. So
Did y'all see Monique on The Preachers?
I didn't even watch that shit. 'Cause let me tell you something. I done always had a problem with that whole situation, because the way that I understand, I didn't watch that, but he is the one who is free. Like, she don't do nothing. But
She said in that interview, because the pastor said, now I know it was his idea, and she said, you know it was his idea, and she said it was her idea.
yeah, but she don't step out on him.
No,
He's-
she said that sometimes she wants to have sex with another man, and she wants to be able to do it. And so he said, well, if you gonna do that, I want to be able to have sex with another woman. And then she was like, well, that ain't what I said. But she said, to be fair, it has to be on both ends.
Why you married
Wait.
to this motherfucker then? Like,
She said she know him since he was in the 10th grade.
Wait a minute.
that ain't no valid.
So she said she brought it to the table first, saying that she wanted to sleep with other men.
Yeah, she
And
wanted
so
to have an
then,
open relationship. They
the
got an
only
open
way-
relationship.
The only
Right.
way he would
Okay.
be with it is if he could slip. Like, she didn't want that. What she basically wanted was her to be able to sleep with who she wanted to,
she
and he'd be
changed,
cool
she changed
with it.
up her story because when that
Because originally it
Yeah.
was him, who-
right, and she
yeah.
wasn't doing anything.
She wasn't doing anything. He was the one that was like stepping out, and
And
she
then-
did that for
Right.
Yeah, 'cause
But then another time I heard her say that they weren't doing that anymore because she had to get to a point where she realized her worth and she just thought she was better than that. But now she done went to both
Now
of us
it's-
doing whatever we want to. So I don't get it, man. I mean, I
I
guess
don't
you
get
do what
that.
you do in your marriage, but I don't
mean,
know.
if that works for them, cool. What I've never understood, the whole reason, me personally, when I say I do to somebody, it's gonna be because this it. Till we old and gray and can't remember each other. This is it. Why not just stay single and just do whatever the fuck you want to do then? Like, I don't understand the purpose of even having the marriage if you wanted the shit to remain open. Just date.
Well, what they say, these people in these open relationships, they say they still need a partner, like somebody they can confide in and go through life
Get
with.
a counselor. Get a psychiatrist.
It's just a different in temperament and personalities. The same reason some people into polyamorous relationships.
Right.
The same reason some people like to swing. You know, some people.
Swinging is just the same thing, but together, right?
Yeah, you just go into a room and there's a bunch of people that want to bang, and you just bang whoever you gonna
So
bang.
disgusting.
Yeah.
That just.
Cause this girl I went to high school with, I reconnected with her on Facebook, and she told me she was in an open relationship, and she was coming to Montgomery, and I said, "So what are the parameters of y'all's relationship?" She said he has to approve, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, he not gonna approve of me because I'm like, I don't know. I think they have to. The person has to be around them. Like, he has to like actually have a conversation and all of this kind of stuff. And I was like, I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Weird. Like, so you want to fuck my wife, huh?
Right.
Okay.
But
like, what does that conversation look
then
like?
She contradicted herself because she said when she came here, like it was going down. But I was like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be in that situation. It's just amazing what people do in their relationships and their marriages. Like, you never know what they've agreed upon, you know? And I used to think this stuff only happened in like the entertainment world. Like,
no, it's regular people out there doing that shit.
So regular people do it more than entertainers.
Yeah. I've never understood that. Like, I don't get it. That doesn't make sense to me. It would make more sense if you just to stay single and then you do whatever you want to. You have friends for your support. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're still missing something when you're single.
Like what?
The emotional connection. If somebody want an emotional connection but want to have sex with multiple people, then you shouldn't do that with a person that's unaware of that desire. But if you gonna do it, it need to be in a relationship with somebody that don't care about having an open relationship or want one themselves.
I guess my issue is I can't fathom having where you can have an emotional connection to somebody but then step out on them at the same, even with their knowledge.
But it's not the stepping out from the definition that they define in their relationship.
I guess that
it's not stepping out.
That isn't a definition of a relationship that I can comprehend. Like, I don't understand it because I would never be with that shit. And if anybody ever even suggested it, even suggested it, like, I would fucking lose it.
And I feel like as a man, you're not gonna want anybody else being with your woman because, I mean, that's your woman. Like, men are territorial like that. Like, I just wouldn't be with it. I feel like if you want to be in that kind of relationship, you don't value who you're with. You can't possibly, you know. I mean, in my mind,
I just think that there's people out there that can really itemize sex and itemize relationships and disconnect from them shits at will. And I think that's the kind of manifestation. I'm not willing to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to separate all that shit.
It seems so unhealthy. I don't know. But
it's a lot
that's
of
just
juices.
not something I could stop. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't go. No.
I'm just saying, a lot of bodily fluids and stuff. No, too much.
A little bit. Okay. A little bit.
I'm gonna read this last one.
Okay.
And then
I have a rant.
You got a rant?
Yes.
Oh Lord.
How come ain't nobody known about this till now?
Not right now. I'm gonna wait
until after he.
It's a short rant. I can keep it quick. Okay. Yeah.
All right. When I was in law school, I went out with a guy who was getting his master's in African American Studies. He was tall, handsome, dread, sexy, etc. He asked me out to Red Lobster on the first date. I was like, yes, cheddar biscuits. Anyways, so we spoke. We ordered our respective meals. He ordered surf and turf. This nigga picks up his steak with both hands and bites into it. He proceeds to eat everything on his plate with his hands. The baked potato, hands. Steak, hands. Like, what the fuck? Then at the end of the meal, he pulls the, oh shit, I don't have my wallet. Can you get the meal? Fuck that guy, man.
Let me tell you something. First of all, as soon as you pick up a steak with your hands, your uncivilized ass, I would have checked out then. You ain't got your wallet, I'm going to pay for my shit. I don't know. I guess you're going to have to wash dishes or something, motherfucker, because I'm not paying for this shit.
That nigga was fresh out the pen. Picked up that steak. Took a bite.
Okay, so my daddy eat his food with his hands.
Oh.
Like, he smashes collard greens into his cornbreads and just eat. He did, however, spend about 15 years in jail.
Oh,
so,
shit.
I mean, maybe a habit that was picked up in the lockup.
Hell.
Then he ordered the most expensive thing on the menu and forget his wallet.
He didn't forget his
wallet. That's why I would have been like, oh, good luck with that. The check split that shit, please. Thank you. I had this and that and this. I don't know what he got going on. Y'all figure that out.
Separate checks, please.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
The fuck I look like?
Wow.
Absolutely not. Niggas ain't shit.
Alright, y'all.
He probably never do that shit once a week.
Probably do to get a meal. Yeah.
Just get different female, take him, and he gonna forget his wallet, and she gonna pay.
Yeah.
He might have some on the team that don't mind paying anyway.
Hey, that may be the case. That may be the case, man.
Hell no.
Yeah.
But that's all I got.
All right.
Well, Red gotta.
Before I do that, I just wanted to say thank you to AC for fulfilling his obligation to the people, coming to tell his fucked up stories, because they bring me lots of joy, and I hope they brought everybody else lots of joy.
Well, I completely expect somebody I know to hear this show and have something to say about it. But that's just the risk that I take. I feel like my soul has been purged. I needed to get all of that out, so it's all good.
The rant is simply this: y'all motherfuckers need to learn how to park. Okay, if you cannot park your car in a slanted parking space correctly, you don't need to fucking have your license. Like, how do you take up 2 parking spaces? That's selfish as fuck. So ain't nobody else gotta park but you. So it's okay for me to have to park all the way down because you took up 2 fucking parking spaces with your little Altima. You got a fucking small ass car that didn't even like you was in an F-150 or some shit. Learn to park. If you get out of your car and that shit is crooked, straighten that shit up. Don't be a selfish motherfucker. Parking is the most basic ass driving shit ever. Like, if you can't fucking park, you need to sit down somewhere and let somebody else do the driving.
All right, that was Red's rant right there.
Y'all motherfuckers need to learn how to drive.
Y'all don't understand how enraged I get when I see somebody like park where I can't park because you didn't park so fucking poorly.
And she was really pissed about this, y'all, because she called me and she was going off. I thought she was playing at first. Then I was like, she really mad about this shit right now.
It's selfish. Because it's selfish. Like, ain't nobody else got a fucking park. Or like, it ain't even like you got a new car, this old ass car. You give a shit and stuff like you got a pause so can't nobody park by so they won't hit your precious baby. The fuck?
Look, y'all better park the right way in this motherfucker.
Please do. Anyway, y'all got anything else on y'all mind?
That's it.
That's it.
All right, well, until we come to the next conversation.
We out.
Holla.
One.